Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show as we get set for what might be a breaking news show here as the Bucs cut down their roster. Some tough cuts to be made, some surprises already made to some. But we got it all for you here as we rip through it this morning. I won't say confused host. I'm definitely energetic this morning, no question about that. Somewhat confused, but I think what's going on here with the Buccaneers is they've got so many good players. They've got a lot of tough choices to make. Trey Palmer just got released and waived by the Buccaneers, wide receiver. Yep. Not shocking. Good morning to you, Tim Ham from our Dallas affiliate, FanStream Sports DFW. How are you?
Doing well, JP. I don't know that any of these cuts have been surprising, at least for me. Of course, the Shiloh Sanders wasn't surprising.
No, not at all.
Kyle Trask
not surprising.
Wasn't surprising. I don't think. We've had some other moves. I don't know that the Trey Palmer is going to be, I don't know, that I consider that shocking or surprising.
I thought they might be able to trade him. And
you know, the interesting thing is they probably tried, right? Like these guys, they know they're going to cut. Lights on the phone or he's shopping around. He sends out the fax that goes, Trey Palmer's on the market. Fax me your offers. Because I'm sure that's how it worked, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, he got nothing back. So it is what it is.
I think at this point, most of the teams say, yeah, if you're calling me like that, you're going to release him anyway, and I get him for free and have other options. So we'll get through all that today.
And also, JP, with the we talked about it last night, with the cut now, the release of Kyle Trask, your entire 2021 draft class is gone. And we're going to go over that. I've got all the where are they now
forgotten. Most certainly forgotten.
I have all of the where are they nows for you.
As much as we've lauded the great Jason Light, and well deserved for his great draft classes, he's got a couple of whiffs in there too, which is the nature of the beast. You know, it's hardly an exact science drafting 18, I guess they're more 21, 20-year-olds. It's hardly an exact science, and you never know how they're going to handle things as pros. So for the most part, he's done extremely well building this roster. I think we can all agree. But, yeah, there have been a couple whiffs. No question about it. But the beautiful thing is when you make mistakes, learn from them. And certainly the Bucs have learned from their mistakes in drafting because their last few classes have been outstanding. For the sake of historical correctness, we will go over those dreadful 2016 and 2021 drafts, and you can choose which one you think is worse. They're competitively bad, no question about it.
Well, there's one that stands out above all the other ones in the 2021 draft, and we'll get to that then.
Okay, all right. So also believe I double check here. Our good friend Mike Bell from Atlanta, 92.9 The Game, is going to join us at some point this morning. Always fun to have Mike on. Lots going on in Atlanta as well as we get set to take on the Falcons in week 1. So we'll get an update on what's going on up there in Flowery Branch and with the great Mike Bell, who's also a huge Seminole fan. So we'll get his take on some college football stuff as well. How good is Georgia going to be? They kind of feel like they've been forgotten a little bit in all this, but they're right there and as talented as they've ever been. But they got to break in a new quarterback, so to speak, in Gunner. So we'll take a little peruse around what's going around in Atlanta with Mike Bell. All right, let's get into it right now. As I wasn't shocking if you're a watcher and listener of this particular show, you know that it's not surprising to me that Kyle Trask was released. I've been talking about it since OTAs. I've been asking Todd Bowles pointed questions about it since OTAs because from what we observed, he was not playing good football. And, I think, and I said this yesterday, I think this might be more about Josh Grizzard than it is the Bucs system or him falling out of favor because for a long time they liked Kyle Trask. They spoke very, very highly of Kyle Trask. And when Josh Grizzard came in here, he didn't play as well in this system. He certainly looked out of sorts in OTAs. He looked out of sorts in training camp. It's just not the guy that I've seen over many years. I've been a fan of Kyle Trask. I've always thought, I was certainly advocating in the final game of the 2 seasons ago against Carolina when Baker was just beat to crap and shouldn't have played. I said, well, let's give Kyle a shot here and see if he can do it. I think 100% Kyle Trask is better than about 30% Baker Mayfield, who couldn't run, couldn't throw very well. They got through the game, barely won the game, and got into the playoffs. But it was by no means a great performance by Baker Mayfield, gutty performance. But it also told you, it's like, damn, if they don't trust him in this spot, why is he even on the roster? And even in the previous year when it was a meaningless game, Tom Brady said, no, I want to play. And still Trask had no ability to play in that game. So, because I said, well, if it's a meaningless game, let's see what Kyle Trask can do. And they didn't even want him to play that game.
Well, and even with all of that, why this offseason earlier did you give him a 1-year, almost $3 million contract with almost 1.5 guaranteed? Like, well, if you're that down on him.
Because he's been the guy. They didn't want to go out and get somebody else. And I think, right. And remember at that point, Josh Grizzard had not worked a lot with him at that point. Yeah. Josh was just coming in. So I think there was all like, everybody likes Kyle. They all like him. He's a very likable guy. He works his ass off. He does everything you want him to do. So it's not like he's a disruption or, in any way, hurting your team, except when you have to go play. And so I think when it just came down to it, and we talked about all this yesterday, kind of prepping you for the fact that he was probably going to get released. Right. And I did not know he had a very, minor shoulder injury that he observed, because there was no talk about that after the game, but suddenly that popped up on Sunday. So I don't know if that had much to do with it, maybe a little bit to do with it. But the bottom line for me is when he got, and I told you guys this back when it happened, this is not, 3 weeks later saying this. I said on those days that when he played with the ones, he was not good and he was holding the ball. And I think that's been his biggest issue. I think Josh Grizzard has I haven't heard Josh say this. It's just watching the tape, watching him play in practice. The thing that really I would think bugged me if I was a coach is he gets to that first read and then he freezes. He just freezes and then he looks to run, or he just I mean, he can even see Bazelak go bump, 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 bump. And we're Kyle's just like, he's not reading it at the line of scrimmage like he should be and knowing where the ball go. Sometimes he is, but not as well as maybe others, and certainly not as well as Grizzard would like. He just did not process the information quickly enough. And I think in the end, that was his undoing. And when Teddy came in here, he was a pro. He's a guy that's played in the league for 12 years. He knows he's seeing it at the line of scrimmage. He's seeing it as soon as it snapped. He's been there and he's done that. And Kyle just hasn't. And I think they got to the point where, look, we just don't trust this guy. And here's the other thing, and I said this yesterday. If you were going to try to, get somebody to the practice squad, would it be easier to get Kyle there, or would it be easier to get Bridgewater? And I said, without question, it's Kyle, because there's other teams, the Raiders, for instance, that would come get Teddy Bridgewater and offer him Cowboys. They'd say, hey, why be on the practice squad and take that salary when we'll give you 2 years, $8 million? I don't know. 1 year, $5 million. He's not going to, he loves the Bucs and he likes the people here, but come on, if you're not going to pay me, then, I'm not going to play here. If somebody else wants to pay me, considerably more, that's where I'm going. But the Bucs have him under contract now. So now they put him as the number 2 quarterback. He's going to get the veteran minimum and he can't go anywhere else. So it kind of becomes a no-brainer at that point. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. If you're going to lose somebody, who would you rather lose? Or who's going to be in more demand? And clearly Kyle Trask was not in demand, or they would have traded him. You got John Spytek, who basically drafted Kyle Trask here and worked with him for 4 years, who's now running the Raiders, and Tom Brady, who knows a little bit about Kyle Trask. He was in the room with him for 3 years, and they didn't want him. So,
no, and they made an interesting move. We can talk about it in NFL talk a little bit later too.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, so the whole Kyle Trask thing, I was on the phone with one TJ Reeves yesterday when the Trask news came down. We were talking about some college football stuff, and the Trask news comes down. It kind of broke while we were talking about it. And he's like, Tim, get off the phone, go do a Kyle Trask podcast real quick on your Buccaneers Daily Blitz. Break the news. I'm not breaking news, but look, I as I'm talking about Kyle Trask, in my brain, I'm seeing another player that I just saw this offseason playing in the NFL, and I could not help but make the comparisons because they look like the same exact dude after the preseason and after the offseason. And I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders because I covered a lot of Shedeur Sanders this whole offseason and the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Trask's been in the league. This is his 4th year. 4 years, and he looks like a rookie still to me from watching what I've seen of him this offseason. I feel like he's digressed a little bit, right? Because he didn't look horrible before. I thought he looked horrible this offseason. But everybody's barking about Shedeur Sanders. He's Kyle Trask, okay?
Yeah.
If you really want an NFL comp, he's Kyle Trask. It's horrendous. And in my brain, I didn't say that on the pod that I did the other night, but in my brain, I was thinking that the whole time. I was going to save that for a Browns podcast, but I just don't understand how. And again, we talked about it earlier this offseason. He's been stuck in Tampa Bay since he got drafted. He's never played, JP. He's never had a chance to play. He's 4 for 11 for 28 yards in 4 seasons with the Bucs in the regular season. And that will wear on you mentally. It will beat you down emotionally and mentally to the point that you're like, I'm not going to play. Why do I care? Not out loud or maybe intentionally, but that's what your brain and your body thinks. So maybe a change of scenery for him. And I don't know how bad the shoulder injury is. I don't think it's terrible. If he was still with the Bucs, they were going to have to put him on the IR though to start the season. Yeah. So you know what? A change of scenery for him. It's probably the best possible professional move that could happen to him. And, they weren't going to be able to trade him. He'd had 0 trade value. So this is probably the best professional scenario for Kyle Trask if he wants to continue to play football.
Well, I don't know where he's going to play.
No, me neither. I don't know who's going to pick him up.
I don't think – and he's kind of in a catch-22. He's not considered a guy that you would think would be a starting quarterback in this league. He's just not. He's considered a backup. So if you're going to employ a backup quarterback, you don't want one with no experience. It's just, so he's gotten to a point in his career where he's in a real catch-22. And until he has the opportunity to compete for a starting job again, and, with all the young players coming up, I just don't think he's going to get that shot. So, good luck to Kyle. He's going to make $1.4 million guaranteed this year. Right. He's made some decent money, and probably with an injury settlement closer to $2 million. So it's a good start for his real estate career. So we're
or his UFL quarterback career.
Skip Holtz, Anthony Beck might come calling here soon. And you know what? Good. Go prove yourself in the UFL. That's a great opportunity.
What it's for.
Go. I think Anthony was on the show last week. They lost their quarterback, didn't they?
Yeah, so Max Duggan. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he wanted to try to go play in Canada.
So he's probably got an opportunity to go play there. And, I'm sure Anthony knows him, and that would be a great opportunity. Go there, light up that league, and then maybe you're looked at as a possible NFL starter. So, yeah, to your point, could be the best thing that ever happened to him. This take, I have to just, I can't. A Bantry says the truth is Trask was waived because he wouldn't give up number 2, a jersey to a Buca, and had nothing to do with his ability to play quarterback. You don't believe that, do you, Bantry?
No,
I know people are so serious. No, but people are so serious about uniform colors, uniform numbers, uniform combination. You people are bananas about this stuff.
Did Ibuka want number 2? Was that a story? Because I never heard that.
I'm sure he did. It's what he wore in college.
Yeah, but some guys don't do that.
No, when he said I think he was asked about it, and he was like, I don't really care that much. 9 is fine.
9 which I think good on him.
Yeah, if you're a football player, what number you wear doesn't matter at all. But to some, it does from a mental standpoint.
Well, now it's available if he wants it, right? If he wants to switch.
Yeah, it's available now. But I think some of you really think that's a thing. So, Bantry, let me know if you're serious.
I will tell you this, too. I will tell you this because this involves Bucs talk a little bit. When Shiloh Sanders got cut, it wasn't because of the fight in the Bills game. Okay, his destiny was decided long before that skirmish. All right, and
As I said, it was a good moment for him because he was the worst player on the field, and it got the terrible tape off. There was no more second half terrible tape to go by. It's terrible.
And look, we all like Shiloh Sanders. I think we were all pulling for him, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. And then now I was scrolling TikTok late last night, JP, as I do when I often fall asleep at night, right? And I was sick to the stomach of all of the crap I saw about conspiracy theories about the Sanders boys. Oh, they only cut Shiloh because he got in a fight. That's not fair. And, Shiloh's not going to play. Why didn't they send him to LA or to Las Vegas where he can play? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do y'all really think that's going to happen? Like, it's the tomfoolery with the conspiracy theories is just, look, I'm the biggest conspiracy theorist of them all, but crap like that, that's just over the top ridiculous. All right.
Why would you draft a player to sabotage him? Exactly. Even the Browns aren't that stupid.
No.
Even the Browns aren't that stupid.
Sabotaged himself by taking a 24-yard sack and a 13-yard sack in his final preseason appearance, and they had to pull him out of the
Shiloh
game.
Sabotaged himself by missing every tackle that he had a chance to make. I mean,
and misreading. Yeah, misreading.
If you're a safety and you're missing tackles, it's probably not a great career choice for you. No, it's just not. And Shiloh was just not. He's just not a good player. And I think if we're being honest, I think the Bucs did Drew Rosenhaus a solid and did Prime a solid by giving Shiloh a shot.
Yeah.
I don't think teams were lining up to bring Shiloh Sanders in to play safety. Drew Rosenhaus came to the Bucs and asked them to sign him, and they did. I don't think it would have been a choice that they would have made on their own. Right. It's, okay, yeah, sure. And not a bad idea, let's see what he's got. It's, he's the 90th guy we're going to sign. We're a little thin at safety. Come give us a shot. Show it. And he showed that he's just not a very good player. And he's not NFL caliber.
And Dion was on the phone during the draft process. Hey, you guys draft my kid. Draft my kid. 7th round's fine. 6th round, whatever. Just draft my kid. Draft my kid. Of course. Like he was with Shedeur probably at some point, right? But
this Shedeur shenanigans was poor from the beginning. Yeah. He was the one going on TV saying we're not going there. As if he was going to be attached at the hip with his son. Yeah, we're not going to play there. We're not going to play there. And Shedeur saying, well, if you don't want your culture completely changed, then don't draft me. Telling general managers like we're gonna, I'm gonna come in and change your entire culture. Well, we kind of, we're going to build our own. Thank you.
We've seen your culture. No, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other issue too. That's not quite what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So it's a joke, and we know what it is. It's the same old stupid race baiting bullshit that and thankfully, a lot of that is it's being exposed for the ridiculousness that it is. It is. If that's where you're going with it, you don't have a leg to stand on. You just don't, and you look like an idiot. But that's okay. It just further exposes these dumbass narratives. Not saying there's not racism, not saying that. I'm just saying there's no racism in the NFL. If you want to make a case for racism, you probably might want to turn that around, actually, from black and white. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But if you wanted to make a case, it would probably be a lot easier to do it in the reverse way. To sit there and say that there's still some type of stigma attached to black quarterbacks is the dumbest shit ever. Open your eyes. Look at the league. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Did it once exist? Absolutely. Was it reprehensible? Absolutely. Were the people who are a part of that, including Hugh Culverhouse, horrible racist people? Yes, they were. And we can call that out 9 ways to Sunday. But as we sit here in 2025, that's not a thing. No. It's not a thing. Just stop it. And we know you're doing it for clicks, and you make yourself look ridiculous.
Yep.
Bucs Basement says, if you're depending on Bridgewater to save your season, should Mayfield go down? Well, prepare to have a long season. This is an interesting topic. I've said this, Tim, I've been on this since OTAs. The Bucs need to go find a reliable backup quarterback. I've said that, and I don't know how many more were left at that point, what the other options were. We saw Carson Wentz was just signed. Would he have been a better choice than Teddy Bridgewater? I don't know. Josh Grizzard had a relationship with Teddy Bridgewater. I think these conversations probably happened back in OTAs, where Josh was like, yo, Teddy, my man, how's high school coaching going? Are you really set on doing that? Because, we might have a spot for you here. I think those conversations happened a long time ago, to be quite honest. And if I'm saying, is Teddy a good backup? Well, he was good enough for the Detroit Lions to sign him and play him in a playoff game. You got a better one? I mean, I don't know what the list. I'm trying to think, Huntley's out there. He just got released by the Browns. If you're released by the Browns, well, but it's a good question, Bucs Basement. Absolutely. It's a good question. Meets McGee says, geez, JP, you were severely missed last night on SportsWeb. There was one guest, Leo, who was very upset about Trask getting cut and against Bridgewater. Well, I mean, I think we were ahead of the game here with Trask, to be quite honest. We've been talking about it for a long time on this show, so it came as no surprise to us. I don't think Leo is really anti-Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, can you be Teddy's
what is
a good
Leo's
player.
love affair with Trask, though? Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Like, I'd love to ask him.
We'll get him on the show and ask him. I mean, listen, if you're defending Kyle Trask because of the way he's played, I think maybe you're not looking at the same tape I'm looking at. You haven't been to as many practices as I've been to, because I think it's pretty obvious, frankly. I think it's pretty obvious where his deficits are. I'm not claiming I'm some genius, because I think he's just not as accurate and quick thinking as he needs to be. And I think if I can see it, I didn't wait till after he was cut to say it. Been saying it for a long time. If I can see it, you're damn right Josh Grisard can see it.
Yeah.
And so can Todd Bowles. I'm not making it up. James says, when Baker dinged his hand at camp at Trask had 2 days with the starters, he did not impress. Yes, that's what I said it during those days. I was there, and I watched that red zone where he missed 3 wide open guys. And when I say wide open in red zone, that means about 1.5 yards. These are guys that are open. You got to hit them. They're 6 yards, 10 yards away from you. It's a short pass into the red zone. It's got to be accurate. It's got to be a quick decision, and it's got to be made. And if you can't do that, you cannot play in the NFL. Simple as that. Simple as that. That is the prerequisite in those situations. And he did not meet the moment, in my opinion.
And here's what could happen. Here's what could happen. Baker could hurt his wrist, bang his finger, his thumb on his passing hand on a helmet during a play here and within the first 2 months of the season. He's going to miss maybe the second half of a game, and Bridgewater is going to come in, throw a couple of touchdown passes. The Bucs will get the win. Bridgewater might have to start the next game. They'll get the win, and then everybody's going to forget Kyle Trask ever played for the Bucs.
Exactly.
And it'll be fine.
I mean, and did Teddy Bridgewater stepping on the field, making quick decisions and throwing 2 incredible touch passes in the red zone, and after being here for a minute and a half, make a difference? Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, of course it did. I think Grizz was probably going, see, this is what I'm telling you. It just is what it is. And he's a natural thrower of the football. And even watching him out there for the first couple of weeks, they started, making the real tough throws, which are the 20-yard ins, the 25-yard corners, the deep outs across the hash. I mean, those are the real big tough throws for NFL quarterbacks to make. And to be honest, as we saw from the hospital ball to Jalen McMillan, he was a little rusty. Teddy was a little rusty there. But you know what they did see? They saw the quick decision-making, a guy that looks like he's belonged in this, and very natural flowing out of the pocket, not the freeze moment. I mean, you watch Kyle play, and it's like it's catch the snap, 1, 2, and the ball's either out or it's the freeze moment. It's like, dun, 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 that's go put on the tape. Where with Teddy, it's like 1, 2, 3. It's not there. Here it is. And even Bazelak, 1, 2, 3, not here. There it is. It's not 1, 2, 3. Freeze. Look. It's that's not the dance you want to be doing as a quarterback. The 1, 2, 3 freeze, not what we're looking for. 1, 2, 3, that's not there. We're going over here or we're going over there. Get rid of the ball. Don't freeze. Of all things, don't freeze. We saw that too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as Cody says, Bazelak looked better than Trask. Yeah, and I think he'll be the guy on the practice squad.
Which means he'll be your number 3 emergency receiver every game.
And RJ Martin reminds us that Baker versus Trask was never a competition. At first, I thought it was, and then it wasn't.
And it didn't take long.
And then it wasn't. And I've always been high on Kyle. Like I said, I called for him to play twice. Like let's see what he's got. Because not knowing it, and I'll tell you what, I think Jason Light, if he had to rethink it, and Todd Bowles, they had to rethink it, they would have played him. I mean, they did win that game in Carolina. Thank 2 touchdowns being called back, but they did win the game.
Yep.
Sergio says, quit being such a Debbie Downer, Bucs basement. Our season will be lost with Trask as well. It's time for a change. Chill out. Yeah, it's not. I mean, we are talking about the backup quarterback here. Let's not lose sight of that. We're not talking about the actual starting quarterback. Yeah. So, Bucs says, safe to call the 2021 class a complete bust. Light was focused on the wrong things in a draft where we were trying to go back to back. Was a bunch of backups that never amounted to anything. Yeah, you're right. He did. It wasn't his best draft. He's had better ones. You want to go over the 2021 draft right now, Timmy, or you want to do that next segment?
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll do it.
Okay. Denver Harden, good morning to you. Haven't seen you in here. Welcome. Trask never got a real chance to compete. Bridgewater's being hyped up way too much. Doesn't matter either way, though. If we lose Baker, we're cooked. Denver, 5 years. Never got a chance to compete. 5 years. Now, I know he was behind Brady. He wasn't competing for the first job, but and then they brought Blaine Gabbert in. Then he did get a chance to compete with Baker. He lost the bout. He got a chance. He was going to compete with Michael Pratt for the backup job. If you've been somewhere for 4 years playing scout team every day, how many times have we heard about scout team quarterbacks really impressing and then getting a shot to start other places? It's happened a lot. And he never really impressed. I mean, that's a long time. Yeah. I know a lot of guys that would kill for that opportunity. And got that chance. You're understudy to Brady, and you still don't know how to get the ball out quick and read before the. I mean, if you're saying he didn't have an opportunity, I don't know, bro. I think a lot of guys would have killed for that opportunity.
And again,
in the room with Brady for 3 years.
Like I said earlier, he's been here so long, riding the bench. He was just dejected, man, in a Bucs uniform. He knew he wasn't ever going to be the guy, and he needs a change of scenery, and we hope the best for him.
And you know what? That was evident this year, especially when Teddy got the start, and then he came in Pittsburgh and looked like shit. I mean, he was just like mentally he was cooked.
Yeah.
And he just kind of, like I said, I've been saying, since OTAs, he looked like he's regressed, and maybe that's it. It's like he probably felt that Michael Pratt was going to take his job. And anyway, oh well. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get more to your comments. Want to get to college football today. Byron Brown spoke to the media yesterday at USF, and I'm excited about this USF football season. Super excited about it. So we're going to touch on that as well. And we got to go around the NFL. There's a lot of moves being made, so we'll keep you up to date as the breaking news comes in. And, of course, we're going to talk some Braves baseball. Junior Caminero, another 2 home runs last night. Oh, my Lord, this kid is unbelievable.
Yeah.
We are, I'm kind of excited about next year's Rays. I'll tell you why. Hey, we're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you're in an accident, it's a no-brainer, folks. You want somebody that knows the local legal landscape and is a great attorney, and that is the Jeeves Law Group. Scott Jeeves is absolutely fantastic, super smart, and he is a badass, and the insurance companies don't like to go up against him. The Jeeves Law Group, not attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And by the great folks at OnsiteConstructionFL.com. OnsiteConstructionFL.com. Jason Fawcett is the owner over there. You've seen him on this program. Great dude. Really, really great contractors. They do fantastic work on budget, on time. Read their 5-star reviews on the website. See some of the great work they've done. They've got a great gallery of pictures there. And get your free consultation. He'll come out to your house, look at your house, give you some ideas, and then you get on the preferred client list. So if there's a hurricane and you need a contractor, you already know who you're going to, and you're on the preferred client list. That's important. It's onsiteconstructionfl.com. Back in 3. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine, and DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine, and DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine, and DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks right here at Kingmakers, where our studio now is located. KingmakersTampa.com is the website. It's a really cool space. By day, it's a workplace where you can come in and have a private office, a very stylish conference room. This production studio that I sit in right here can be yours as well. If you want to do podcasts for your home, it's all included. And we have a lot of other fun. By night, this becomes a sports-centric place for you to network with all the great folks here in town. We have a golf simulator that is second to none. We got a big sports bar right out here as well. That's really cool to watch all the games. You can have events here. So it's a very unique space. It's KingmakersTampa.com. It is a private club, so become a member now. If you're a young entrepreneur or established businessman and you need a spot in Midtown Tampa, this is the spot for you. Lots to do here, lots to get done. So close the deal here and then celebrate at night right at the same place, KingmakersTampa.com.
Or if you just want to come hang out and bug JP in the middle of his live broadcast.
Not advised. Not quite what we're going for there, but thank you for saying that.
I mean, watch from afar. How about watch from afar? Do you have a window?
Not real ones. Wait, can we put up the other shot here? You can see the windows, right? Right there. There we go. Yes, we have two windows. They're the golf simulators on the other side, but I think there's a wall in between. But simulated windows. We should paint something in the window, like some
a fake scenery or something.
Yeah, like a water, maybe like a water view. That's what I want. I want a water view. Yeah,
I mean it's Tampa.
Yeah, I think that's what we should be going for.
Should be able to get a water view. It's Tampa.
All right, we'll work on that. Or some type of hologram in there. I don't know, projection. How do we do that?
A video of a boat on the ocean.
How about well, you know what we'll do? We'll have Brady on one side with the trophy, and it kind of moves from one side to the other window
as he throws it to Gronk.
Throws it over to Cameron Brake. Get the call right. It's Brady to Brake with the Lombardi on 2. Ready?
Can't believe Brake caught that, first of all.
The first time I saw it, I was like, everybody's like, oh my God. I'm like, they didn't throw it that far. And then I saw another angle. I was like, holy shit. that was a good 10, 15 yards. Yeah.
What an arm on that guy.
So
He's got something.
Ends up at the bottom of Tampa. What happens if it ends up at the bottom of Tampa?
How many people are diving in to get it?
It's not that deep right there. Let's just be honest. It's everybody. I think starting with Tom Brady, I think would be the first.
You think it floats?
Oh, shit.
It's hollow inside, right?
It does not float.
It doesn't float?
No. I think it weighs a good 25 pounds. I think
I've never hoisted a Lombardi
girth to it. I think it's got a little bit of weight to it. I've held it. It's heavy.
All right.
It's heavy.
Well, it can be heavy and still float if it's buoyant. You don't think it's buoyant?
That's true. I've seen cruise ships.
I mean, look at boats.
Yeah, I still don't. Two things. I honestly, I understand buoyancy, so please don't give me but when I look at some of these cruise ships and go, how the F does that say afloat? Because you can't see what's underneath. I get it. But how does that? They're so tall and they're so big and it's on water. It's how the hell does that thing float? And the same with 747s or Airbuses. When you see them take off and they're and they look like they're going so slow. And you're like, how the hell does that stay up in the air? It's 25 tons or whatever it is. And if Desmond Watson's on board, it's more than that.
Oh, my God. Poor Desmond. Leave Desmond alone.
By the way, Rick was very, very, I think,
be nice,
compassionate. Rick. He was very compassionate. He had to throw this up this morning. In a show of teamwork, the Bucs donated Watson's jersey to the Rays to repair the truck. Come on, dog.
Oh, my God.
Come on, dog. We fat shaming now? Come on. Is that what it's come to?
Hey, Rick, how many NFL teams have signed you to an offseason contract? Same as me.
Can't believe he said that. I can't believe I put it up on the screen. What was I thinking?
Pretty sure I can.
Yeah. And as he said about Trask, Spytech didn't even want him. And neither did Neither did our the other two offensive coordinators that have head coaching jobs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. Canales, yeah I'm good. Mm-hmm.
That's a shame, too. He's a good Florida boy.
Yeah. Michael LaRue says Florida Gator quarterbacks are not good NFL QBs. All of them have been bad in the NFL.
I mean, Danny Werfel wasn't horrible.
Wasn't
Wasn't great, but wasn't horrible.
He wasn't good.
He was a Saint, man. He was good with the Saints.
He was not good.
That was just a bad team.
Yeah, it was a bad team. Anthony Richardson, let's just be honest, never had a chance.
Nope.
I mean, but that's his own fault. Or was it? He probably was pretty smart. He could have exposed himself as not a very good quarterback. Although I think he would have been a really good collegiate quarterback. I think he had the skill set to learn RPO offenses, and with his athletic ability and playing in college, he could have been really, really good. I think he would have been. He showed flashes of that. But then again, if you're going to go to the NFL and some team's going to take you 4th overall and pay you all that money, you take it. Don't take a chance of getting hurt in college or exposing yourself as a bad quarterback. If someone's going to pay you, take the money. By the way, this is an interesting tweet that I saw this morning. Quinshon Judkins, who had the legal issues, right? Drafted by the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And he has not signed his rookie deal. And according to Pro Football Talk, he could go back to college and play.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't signed his rookie deal.
Well, because they are not offering him his rookie deal yet. The team hasn't presented it to him because of his legal issues. They're like, you need to go work out whatever it is that you're going through right now, and then we'll talk football. That's what's happening with the Browns and Judkins, which sucks because they need Judkins. He was supposed to be the replacement for Nick Chubb, who's now in Houston. But no, that's the team just as much as him. That's the team doing that.
Like some players, will come and work out in OTAs, right, before they sign their contract. Well, who was it? The second-round pick for the Bengals, or first-round pick for the second-round pick for the Bengals. I mean, they're in camp for a long time before they actually sign their deal.
Yeah.
I mean, can guy, if you're like a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, can you go to camp and work out? And then when you get the sense, you know what, I'm probably not going to play or might even get cut, I'm going to go back to college, because you can make good money in college now. And say if you're on a team right now and you get cut, can you go back to college and make $1.5 million and play at Florida State? If are you a good offensive lineman,
we'll take you. Once you sign your deal, you're done. But if you never sign with your team,
right,
then absolutely.
Because you can go to OTAs without signing. That happens all the time, but you can't. Right. I don't think you can go to training camp without signing, though. I don't think you can participate in training camp, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
But if you were to go, and all the way up to training camp, you went through OTAs and everything and just said, you know what, I'm probably not good enough for this league. I'm going to go, or I need some more seasoning. I'm going to go back and play college. Nobody's done that yet.
Right.
But he could go back and play in college. He could. I mean, I bet there was a lot of teams right now that would take him in college, right?
I mean, will they with what he's going through? I mean, you're probably right. It probably doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to research a little bit. It kind of piqued my interest. So anybody has any, Greg Allman, where are you? He knows everything when it comes to those things. Some other comments here. I want to clean up all the Trask stuff here because you guys have a lot to say about Trask. Denver Harden says, if the Raiders wanted Bridgewater, why wouldn't they go get him when he was a free agent? That's what we did, because they just lost Aiden O'Connell. Yep. So that kind of forced their hand.
For a while. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I think if they had Aiden O'Connell, they wouldn't be looking. But now that there's an injury, they're looking. So I think that's why. Hospital balls, says James. Those 2 touchdowns versus Steelers were dimes. Raiders traded for Kenny freaking Pickett. They should tell you. That should tell you everything. Well, he did throw a hospital ball to Jalen McMillan. He went to the hospital. Definition of
that means, yeah.
What he had it was a bad throw. I'm not sitting here and I'm not going to sit here. Teddy's better than Trask. I've said that since he got here. But
Kenny Pickett's better than Trask too, by the way.
Yeah. That this just in. So I'm not going to deny the reality. He threw a bad pass, but that happens. When Baker Mayfield throws hospital balls. It happens in the league, but normally guys don't go to the hospital. That was a very unfortunate way that Jalen McMillan landed.
Yeah.
It was a very unfortunate tackle. Normally those tackles don't happen that way. You hit a guy like that, and I don't know if it was a cheap shot. He was defenseless. I think the guy was just trying to make a play, but it just worked out really bad. That's what happens. It's football. It was a bad throw. Yeah. And that's a tough throw because you have to throw that over the linebacker and then have it dip down into the receiver. Sometimes you just throw it a little bit. You want to make sure you get it over the linebacker, so you throw it a little bit high. I guess the better thing is there. And again, these are choices that you have to make in a split second. If you're Jalen McMillan and you've already made this team, should you be jumping up and get them? But you're going to do that. You're a wide receiver. It's just natural. The whole ball's high. I'm going up to get it. You just don't count on getting hurt on that. That's all there is to it. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. I want to say hello to all. And he just always says hello to the Petermans. Get it right. Not peeps. It's Petermans. And it's not degenerates. Denver says Trask will sign with the Panthers. With Canales, has he done that yet? That's when Trask looked the best, when he will be insurance if the young guy goes back to what he was. Well, we'll see. I don't know who the Panthers backup is right now.
Hang on, I'll tell you. They've got Andy Dalton behind Bryce Young.
Yeah, he's not supplanting Andy Dalton. That's right, because Dalton started last year. Yeah. Sergio says Trask was drafted to be the starting quarterback eventually after Brady was gone, but it never developed. It's been enough time to move on. Yeah, absolutely. So the 2021 draft, shall we peruse that, my friend?
Let's peruse that. Let me bring it up here on screen as I've prepared a graphic.
Let me just get this out there because Rick is redeeming himself for the Desmond Watson slander. Said, let's just say the obvious out loud. The Bucs are better without Gators. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that, Rick.
Our last few, I think the last Seminole we drafted was Roberto Aguayo. Yikes. That did not work out well. And the last highly drafted Gator was Vernon Hargraves. It was a disaster.
Probably so.
And Kyle Trask.
JP, let's get into the Buccaneers 2021 draft, shall we?
Jason Light just turned the show off. I hope you're happy with that.
It's all right. He should have come on to defend himself. Like, we love hearing guys talk about why. Hey, look, here's what I thought was going to happen. I mean, that's half my dating life. I could go back.
Like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. See, again, half my dating.
Well, he never asked me about Joe Tryon Shoyanka. I would have told him. I said, let me do some research, and it would take me 5 minutes. What did we count? 42 shirtless photos on his Instagram.
Probably not a good look, huh?
Which were removed. By the way, we mentioned that on the. I remember we were going over the draft picks, and I asked our intern Kayla, because she's always on Instagram. I say, go find out how many shirtless pictures we got for Joe Tryon. She's like 43, and I'm like, whoa, wow, that's a lot. I don't know if I want that for my first round draft. And the next day, they were all removed. By the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I took them all off.
Should have done that before the draft.
So JTS, my biggest thing with JTS was he didn't play during COVID. Like, didn't want to know part of it. Although with all the shenanigans going on, I mean, you can't blame him. But
there was a lot of players that didn't do that, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
it hurt him. Like it hurt.
It definitely did. It really did. I mean, and I hate to blame them for that because that wasn't their choice. If they
maybe Micah Parsons,
and of course, it was a terrible, terrible choice for the adults to do at the time.
Right.
And they should have known better, but of course, we all know what that was about.
So JTS plays 4 seasons. He, of course, just left this offseason. He's now a Cleveland Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you want your first round draft pick to stick around longer than 4 years? Probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's JTS. That's a fail. Kyle Trask, your number 2 pick at 64 overall. Just talked about him. We know his story. Robert Hainsey for a 3rd round pick, JP. 35 starts in the league. He was here for 4 years.
Yeah, we got something out of him. He's a good player, good teammate. Started for a couple of years when Big Red went down.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he filled a
for
void.
a 3rd round pick. Yeah.
And he filled a very important void for a couple of years.
And I think we would have held on to him
before you got Barton.
Yeah. You know, before somebody else wanted him. That's why he's still in the league.
And he's in Carolina, right? He's playing with
good player, great, you know, not a great player, but a good player. For a third-round pick.
For a third-round pick, 4 years. You know, again, 35 starts over 60 games. He only started one, of course, there in 2024 behind Barton. But, I mean, for 2 years, he started every game in 22 and 23. So, for a third-round pick, I don't know that you can knock that too much. Jalen Darden, wide receiver out of North Texas, baby. What happened with Jalen? So he plays 9 games his rookie season for the Bucs. The next year he gets traded to the Browns.
I've never seen a guy run to the sideline quicker with the ball in his hand than Jalen Darden. That dude would make a beeline for the sideline as soon as he caught the ball in the punt. I've never seen anything like it. It's just like he'd look up and just go whoop. He like runs sideways, backwards if he had to avoid contact.
He has one start across 4 seasons in the NFL, and he is no longer in the league. He is not on an NFL roster, JP. But again, 4th round pick. You know, you're starting to get into the area where what are your expectations for these guys, right?
Yeah.
KJ Britt, who up until recently was still a Buck. You got 4 years out of him.
Good dude. Solid player, just not fast enough and athletic enough for the NFL to play linebacker.
No, and where's KJ Britt now? He is with the Dolphins now. Yeah. So you got 4 years out of him. He made 15 starts across 59 appearances over 4 years.
Not a terrible round
pick. I don't think that's a terrible pick.
Nah.
And then obviously the most glaring one here, JP, as he never played a down in the NFL. You didn't have a 6th round pick that year. You had 2 7. So your first 7th round pick at 251 out of BYU, DB Chris Wilcox. Now these guys obviously these are reaches in the 7th round, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Chris Wilcox spent time he was waived in the first round of cuts that season by the Bucs. He went to the Chargers. He spent a couple of years on their practice squad, went to the Panthers. As of this year, he is not on a practice squad or an NFL roster, JP, but never played a down in the league.
Now, Grant Stewart is still playing. I saw him return a kickoff the other day.
He's
still
Grant.
In the league. Yeah, he got a DoorDash commercial too, or one of those bring me some food things. Yeah.
So Grant spent just the first season, his rookie year with the Bucs. Then he moved on to the Colts and played 3 years with the Colts, appearing in every game, not starting, but appearing in every game for the Colts, and has just moved on in free agency to the Detroit Lions this season. So for a 7th round pick, I know you didn't hang on to him, but very, very serviceable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd call Grant Stewart a fail. Maybe the failure part is he didn't keep him. But it's a 7th round pick. You use those guys as trade bait, right? Like all the time.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I don't know his best draft.
So no, none of the guys are still here now after Trask gets jetted. But overall, I think you had, Hainsey, obviously, I think we agree was a good pick. And then, Stewart, even though you didn't keep him, he ended up being okay. Britt, serviceable in the 5th round, I think. I mean,
yeah,
it's not horrible, not memorable, but not horrible from.
Yeah. It was a bad draft. It was a bad draft, post Super Bowl draft, but it is what it is. And we move on because this team is ready to win a championship. So let's go. Let's go.
Let's remember the good ones, not the bad ones.
Yes, exactly. Drew Harden says we need Jameis as the backup. That would be fun. Now you're talking.
The Giants are getting rid of him. Giants are keeping him. They love him for some reason.
Yeah. Now, can we have a discussion of who's better, Jameis or Teddy Bridgewater?
Bridgewater. I don't think it's close. In New York, the discussion is who should be the backup.
Never threw for 5,000 yards. I can tell you that.
He never threw 30 interceptions either.
That's true. Right? Maybe in his whole career.
But in New York, the discussion is, Russell Wilson's your starter. Who's going to back up the rookie Jackson Dart, who's really, really good, by the way, or Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's going to be on the practice squad probably most of the season and the emergency third quarterback. So if a quarterback goes down in the league somewhere, I'm kind of surprised I guess I'm not surprised that John Spytek didn't call the Giants about Jameis Winston, or maybe he did. I don't know. But
yeah,
that'll be an interesting thing to see if Winston gets, some offers.
He makes it to the practice squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Bolt jumps in here and says, guys, let's be honest. There was never a moon landing. It was filmed in a studio, and the skunk ape is real. Saw one while putting out my trash can last night. Richard, doing drugs early. I'm all for it. Yeah.
I was there. I saw the moon landing. I was there. So
Tim Witherspoon says, Kyle who?
Kyle who?
I think that should wrap up the conversation, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I think so too.
Nathan Elliott says, I made it to 5 training camp practices. The secondary players all practice right next to the crew lounge and the media tent. I saw a lot of the practice, good and bad, in secondary by players. Yeah. That's practice,
Yeah.
Mates McGee says, I was convinced after watching the Pittsburgh Steelers preseason game, there was a difference between Trask and Bazelak running the offense. That wasn't supposed to happen for a fifth-year quarterback. Yeah. I thought it was pretty obvious, to be honest with you.
So did the Bucs.
B's in here this morning. Before he gets nasty, he said, I told you people Kyle Trask couldn't start at Plant High School. I think that's a little much. Is that hyperbole, B?
No.
Greg says, I have a picture of Stu peeking through the window.
That's pretty funny.
Wait, let's see if that would work out. I'm adding it to the stage here. Okay, there we go. Stu's face
that
right there.
Funny.
That would be funny. Would we get a cease and desist, you think?
No, because he's probably never going to listen to the show again. He wouldn't even know.
That would be fun. Great idea, Rick. We'll see if we can make that happen. But then I got to look at him every day. I don't know how that would go over.
But you'd be laughing a little bit. It would put you in a good mood every day.
Yeah.
You come in hungover after having to sleep on the couch after a fight with Ashley, and you just get to look at Stu all morning.
I think John has a much better idea. The Farrah Fawcett poster.
Yes.
Tim has one.
I do have.
We get one of those for the. You can be able to find one of those online.
Farrah Fawcett on one window and Cheryl Ladd on the other window.
And Stu in the middle. Or my attention
would not give him the pleasure.
Yeah. The Green Flamingo. Haven't seen you in here. Good morning. Thank you. Welcome. Trask isn't a top 50 quarterback in the league and not top 3 on the Bucs. Get over it, people. It is. I tell you what, there are some things that pop up that are just become such incredible conversation and really, in the grand scheme of things, are not worth talking about that much.
Yeah.
So I try to be gatekeeper, but then again, part of me is like, you guys want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Like Shiloh Sanders, Desmond Watson. Like I from the very beginning, I told you folks, we're not going to talk a lot about them, but people are just absolute. They do have one thing in common. They were both Gators. And maybe that's why. I mean, Desmond Watson, and Kyle Trask, I meant, not Shiloh. But I mean, Shiloh was never going to make this team, and Desmond Watson was never going to make this team. But, I don't know.
They were good stories, right? They were good stories to talk about during the offseason, in training camp. Well, Shiloh might have been a good story. I know there was no chance Desmond Watson was going to make it, but he was still a good story. Hell, I probably wrote 10 different articles about him because people were interested. They wanted to read about it.
You're the problem then. You're the problem.
Hey, I'm sorry. I like to write about what people want to read,
Shame on you. Richie P said, I think Sunday Night Football did a whole thing on whether or not the Super Bowl trophy would have floated. I think you're right. So they paid to have a replica thrown in the water, and it did float.
Well, there you go.
And I think I do remotely remember that. See if we can find that online. They're grossing you on Danny Werfel. B says Danny Werfel was one of the worst quarterbacks ever suit up in the NFL. That's what I remember B as well.
Don't think that's
great guy though.
Accurate.
He's a great guy. Yeah. I think it is.
He looked really good.
One of the weakest, though, man. One of the weakest armed quarterbacks I've ever seen that was that good. He had that dude could put a touch pass. He could drop it on a penny in the corner. He could.
Yeah.
He had all those fast receivers, and he was so accurate with that little loop ball he had, 3/4 like little T-Rex arm throw. But man, he was good. Great dude too. Great dude.
Yeah, I like Danny.
Yeah.
He's got a show. He's pretty good. Now we need to have him on.
A show? Who doesn't have a show?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I saw it, but he's got a show.
John Burke, good morning to you. New guy in here. It said the defender wraps up J-Mac, that he doesn't get hurt. Instead, he dumped him on his head. Should be a new rule. I don't know, man. I think we have enough rules in this league about what you cannot do. At some point, you just got to let them play football. It's not a great. I think you're going. What happens is you're okay. Ball's thrown. You're a defensive back. You react to the play. You're coming up on the receiver. You don't know if he's going to jump a little bit higher or what. You're just going to make a play, and then he gets really high. You kind of go underneath. I think we act like everything happens in slow motion. It doesn't happen that way, guys. It's bang bang. You're just going up to make a play, and then you kind of come underneath them. And I'm sure the first thing the defensive back said was, "Oh shit, sorry, man. Didn't mean to do that." I mean, nobody wants to hurt anybody out there for the most part, unless you're that idiot that played for the Bengals for so long. But other than that, I think for the most guys, people aren't trying to do that. And I hate when we go make rules about it. Oh, Brady got hurt. Let's make a rule. No.
Oh my God.
Let's just,
hit him harder next time. So JP, in the parade following the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl win in the 2021 season, many were concerned when Tom Brady would sink the trophy if he actually threw it overboard. However, it was proven by Randy Moss on NFL. It was the NFL countdown crew, I think, on ESPN that would float. I think they're the ones that had it made and flew it in water and threw it in some water. So I don't know why you didn't just throw the real thing in water. Like, that would have been more interesting to me.
Yeah. All right. Michael LaRue says Jalen Darden was a bad pick the second they turned the card in and they traded up to get him. Yeah. Guy was scared of contact. First guy. Yeah, he was. He was just, I never seen anything like, and we kept him around too. Like, we kept letting him. I mean, he'd done that twice. For most coaches, it'd have been over. I don't know why we kept him around for so long. It got to be ridiculous. Like,
Jason Light's got a kind heart.
Press box. Yeah. Anything else we need to get to here? All right, we'll get to some more comments in a little bit. We had a lot of people commenting. We appreciate that. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll do a little college football, a little USF Boise preview coming your way. Byron Brown, cannot wait for this guy. Do you remember how good Byron Brown was in 2023? Really freaking good. Really freaking good. And how good is Boise State? Yeah, they're pretty good too. Ashton Genty was not their whole team. So we'll talk about that and remind you that the Golden Diamond Source is the only place you want to go to get that ring. Nick did it. I did it. So many customers have done it and been absolutely thrilled with the service and everything you get from the Golden Diamond Source. First of all, they're a great local company and we want to support them. Second of all, the best prices, the best staff. They're never going to try to upsell you something you do not need. And that's honestly the best thing you can say about a jewelry store, because everybody else does that. You don't need that. They'll try to get you the best ring for the best price, and that's at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road, about 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. Back in 3. From I do to I still do, the Golden Diamond Source is there for every special moment in your lives and mine. JP here for the Golden Diamond Source. I bought my engagement ring there, and so did my co-host Nick. Great experience. And no matter what your budget is, they will guide you from your first diamond purchase to upgrading your Golden Diamond Source diamond at 100% of its value for a bigger, better diamond. That's awesome. 100% of your diamond's value. You can't get that anywhere else. Enjoy their beautiful, relaxing bridal salon and select from the most extensive collection of diamond engagement rings, anniversary rings, and wedding bands. Julie and Steve Weintraub have always told me that they want to be your family jeweler, and that has been true for me, from special presents like birthstone pendants, tennis bracelets, even diamond studs. They have it all in one place. So if you want her to say, I do or I still do, be sure to choose a diamond from the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Tuesday. It's college football is right around the corner, and a great place to watch it, Riveters. And if you're going to the game, USF on Thursday night, 5:30 start. Why don't you come over and join me at Riveters for a little pregame? Because I'll be stopping by there to have a cocktail or two, and maybe even some wings for happy hour. Happy hour starts at 3. So we'll get the wings, the $8 or 8 wings for $12, that's a meal, fantastic wings. And then you'll get the $3 domestic beers. You can get the hazy IPA on draft, which is fantastic at Riveters, although it was sold out the other day. How many people love it. So Riveters is the place to be Thursday night before the USF game coming up against Boise State, 5:30 start. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. So I'll be double dipping. That one and then FSU Alabama on Saturday. Head on over to Rivers right there, just north of 275 on Dale Mabry, just south of the stadium. Great place to hang out.
JP,
Brother,
I just had like a power surge here at the studio. Like the power went out for a minute. So
did you now?
If I lost everybody, I apologize.
Well, we're good. We're good. We have a very sad story to report here.
Uh-oh.
Not exactly sure what's going on here. We want to wait till all the issues come out, but evidently, according to News Channel 8, former USF coach Jim Leavitt has been arrested for, let's see if I get this right. I don't want to get this wrong. For, I guess, battery. Let me just get this right here. Oh, this is not good. Former USF coach arrested. Jim Leavitt was accused of battering two people, including his ex-girlfriend, and stealing Louis Vuitton bags worth over $5,000. Stealing or reclaiming?
I'm seeing stealing, but that's what St. Pete police say.
I guess if you give it to somebody, it's theirs. And then if you try to get it back, if that's what happened in this case, which is grand theft. Arrest affidavit from St. Pete Police Department stated Leavitt battered his ex-girlfriend by grabbing her arm as she tried to walk away from him. Police said he also pushed the man in the chest. Leavitt was accused of stealing a Louis Vuitton purse, a Louis Vuitton wallet, and Louis Vuitton clutch, collectively valued at $5,000, but less than $10,000. Still mystified how you can spend that much money for a purse. But
jeez, right? Like, good Lord.
Yeah. He is supposed to be inducted into Hall of Fame this year at USF too. So, wait to get
Jim Leavitt from Harlingen, Texas, little tiny town
really?
down in the Rio Grande
grew
Valley.
up in St. Pete.
Yeah.
So it sounds, I mean, it is. So it looks like he had an altercation, grabbed her arm, not exactly battery, but I guess and pushed the man in the chest.
By definition, I mean, I call that a Tuesday, but I mean, you know what?
I mean,
when you're in the
stealing him. I mean, leave that where it is. Anyway,
I meant the pushing him.
Anyway, that's battery.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
I'm like,
we're all men
Tuesday.
here,
right? Is he pressing charges? Yeah. John O'Leary says, what about picking Bullock for the 53-man roster linebacker spot? I like him. I like Nick Jackson more, but I think both of them will probably play at some point this year because they'll go to the practice squad. So, yeah. But we'll see more. If anything else comes out, we will get to it. All right, so USF and Boise coming up Thursday night, 5:30 at Raymond James Stadium. The return of Byron Brown, who threw for over 4,100 yards, 39 touchdowns in his 23 season. I mean, I remember talking about this after the season. It was like, are we going to be able to hold on to Byron Brown? Because his rookie year at USF was insane. I mean, it was just incredible. And the numbers were huge, but if you actually watched him play, they were he was insane. So what was he? So it's his sophomore year? Yeah. So his first year, he was 78 of 132 for 863 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then 2023, or sorry, that was 2024. That was last year, and then he got hurt. 2023, he was 65% completion percentage, 3,200 yards, 3292, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions for a rating of 144.7. So in his career, do we have the aggregates here? No, that's not very nice, ESPN. So he's thrown for 4,100 yards, 20, 31, 33 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. And his rushing yards, I mean, he's just been tremendous. Your stats here, ESPN, are absolutely awful, but
shocking
development. Yes. But yeah, I mean, he's just dynamic, incredibly dynamic. And now here's the problem going up against Boise State, who had the best pass rush rate last year, and all of their pass rushers are back this year. So the big thing is here, and he's excellent at avoiding the rush. So, by the way, his over-under on rushing attempts in the game, I believe, is 11.5. Go over that because he's probably going to score 6 or 7 times, and in the RPO game, he'll probably run another 12 to 15 of those. So over 11.5 rushing attempts, if you want a little side bet there for here's the thing. If Byron Brown can stay healthy these first 3 games, Boise State, Miami, Florida, if their offensive line can stay healthy, that's what I'm more worried about. If they can get through these first 3 games, I think they can have a really, really special season. But that's a big ask against some very physical football teams. And again, Boise State returned 6 people on defense. Spencer Danielson has some great things to say about Byron Brown, their second-year coach. And, of course, they made it to the playoff last year, got a bye. Their quarterback, Maddox Madsen, threw for over 300 yards against Penn State. He's back. He's not a super athletic dude, but just a really good quarterback for that system. So, it's this 12-2 team. Yes, they lost Ashton Genty, but this is also the program that's had Jay Ajayi, Alexander Madison. I mean, they put out running backs. Just because he left doesn't mean they're going to stop running the football. And they got a really good offensive line. So this is a really, really tall task for beat Boise State. But at some point, you got to step up and get a win against a top 25 team. It's been a while I think they're 0 for their last 17. So this is a great moment. It's a 5:30 game. It's the first game of the season. Maybe you catch them napping a little bit. Maybe you get them in the heat a little bit. You got to get a couple of big plays from Byron Brown, maybe 4 or 5 in the air and on the ground. They've got some talent here. And Alex Golish, I think, has done a great job with this team. This is a moment. This is a huge moment for USF. And, they need to step up and win games, give them a little bit of momentum, because if they can come out of this first 3 games 1-2 and get into that conference season, boy, that's going to be something special. It's going to be something special. I mean, because the home schedule is not, it's not enticing for fans to watch. And if they start 0-3, I'm afraid they lose any attention that they've had, especially with the Bucs. If they get off to a good start, I want that stadium to be somewhat full. Like let's fill the lower bowl. Let's fill the lower bowl and get a nice atmosphere in there and get some. It's exciting football to watch. The tempo is good. Defensively they were awful last year. Hopefully they're better this year, and they can get a win. And because they played Alabama tough, they played Florida tough, they played Miami tough for a half. They've been right there with some of these big teams, but they get worn down and they just can't get throughput it. So, I mean, it was at Alabama 2 years ago, 6 minutes left in the game. They have a chance to tie the game. Mm-hmm. They're inside the 5-yard line. So, yeah, this is a huge opportunity for them to get that top 25 win, get off to a good start, make it through those first 3 games, and then see what you can do in the conference. Maybe finally win your first conference championship. And, that would just be huge, huge for USF, especially where they're at right now with conference realignment coming up. We need to show the Big Ten, the ACC, whoever's out there looking, that this can be more than just a mediocre football town. You got the new stadium coming online. You just need, you need a 9-10 win season. We've done it before. Levitt's done it before. I mean, Willie Taggart did a 10-win season. This can be done. This can be done. So big game for USF. No question about it. And a big weekend for college football. Huge weekend.
Can't wait, man. Oh, by the way, speaking of college football, JP.
Yes, sir.
I've just secured because, I multitask. I work even when we're on the air.
Mm-hmm.
I've just secured for Friday at 11:30 on the show to have the great Tim May from Columbus, Ohio, legendary sports writer covering the Bucs those Bucs, the Buckeyes, for, 30 years, 40 years.
Wow.
Who has just migrated his legendary Tim May podcast over to our FanStream Sports Ohio affiliate. He's going to come on to preview Longhorns and Buckeyes Friday at 11:30.
Awesome. So we've added Tim May to the roster.
Yeah.
By the way, we can officially announce this as well. We've added the great Orestes Destrada to the FanStream Sports Tampa Bay roster. So starting September 2nd, he is going to do a podcast that is Rays-centric, AL East-centric. And, there's not a lot of, with all due respect, not a lot of great Rays podcasts out there. So this one is clearly going to be the best by far.
And he can talk, man. You
He's a
wind
machine.
him up and he will go until you say, even sometimes after you say stop.
No, yeah,
which is a good
he
thing.
Is a machine.
And he
knows what
his
the hell
stuff.
he's talking about. And he knows what the hell he's talking about. So, yeah, I think this is a great time to start this podcast, to be honest with you, because I think the interest in the Rays is going to go through the roof. I mean, last night they win 9-0, and look, they're 64-67. They've won 3 straight. They're not going anywhere this year. But you know what they are doing? They're putting together a hell of a team for next year. Junior Caminero with 2 home runs last night. That's 39 for the season. He's got a major league most 12 in August. He's hit 11 home runs or 12 home runs now since 1953. That's the most home runs by a third baseman in an August. 23 and the most 39 is the most for a person under 23. I mean, the numbers that he's putting up right now, as far as his age goes, are matching Hall of Famers. Albert Pujols. I mean, these numbers are through the roof for just his first full season in the majors. And last night he had one where he basically one-handed it out. He's ahead of his years in terms of organizing a strike zone and knowing what to swing at. And when people miss and make a mistake, he makes them pay. He makes them pay. He doesn't miss mistakes. And the more we can put big hitters around him and good hitters around him, holy Jesus. Carson Williams had another big night. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care if Hassan Kim comes back. Let this kid play the rest of the year. Just let him, it's low pressure. There's not a lot at stake. Just go out there and play. And so far, he's been fantastic. And I like what I've seen defensively. He looks really good. Very balanced, very fundamental, has good range. And then, already he's hitting 429. This kid is really, really good. So you're talking about that. That's your left side of the infield for the next 15 years with that kind of power. And then you got Aranda, who's 25 years old at first base, who was an all-star this year, who's going to get you 20, 25 home runs every year and hit over 300. Brandon Lau, had a hell of a season, and he continues to be a cheap source of power, and he's a really good second baseman. And so now Caminero's got 46 is the record by Pena. Mm-hmm. He's got 39. He's got a month and a half to do it for the franchise record in his first full season in the majors. How about that? He could get to 50. Insane. Now you got Simpson, who's a great piece in the outfield, can be your center field or leadoff guy for the next 10, 15 years. You got those young guys. Now we got to figure out the corner outfield spots, get a power hitting left fielder. Maybe Randy will want to come back. Get a Rosarena to come back. That'd be nice. I don't know what to do with Josh Lowe. I mean, it's starting to look like 23 is the outlier season. Mm-hmm. But if he could actually come close to those numbers, that this team would be insanely good. And I think, a lot of people, they like the catching tandem, Fortis and Focaccia. But I don't know. I'm not thrilled with that. I think we can do better at catcher. But if we can get Shane McClanahan back and then maybe add another bullpen arm, not a whole. I mean, and if you're adding 100, if you're getting to 120 million in payroll from 76, which was what we started at this year, there's a lot of room to grow. You can go get some really good players. So new ownership group coming in. Let's announce the new stadium in Tampa. Get excited about that and get excited about this team for years to come. And I am excited about this team. Very much so.
Should be. Yeah. A lot. I mean, again, after suffering through what many have suffered through this year, not just with the ownership uncertainty, but with the play on the field, it's kind of nowhere to go but up, I mean, mm-hmm. And now's the time you want to start getting excited about it for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. James says Rays infield next year, Aranda, Lau, Carson, and Junior. What if Hassan Kim says, I want to come back for $16 million? Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, he can play second. We can move him around, but I'd rather he say no. Here is Nocturnal Bucs Talk. First time I've seen you in here. Welcome, my friend. Says, huge fan of the show. I called Italiano and they were unresponsive. And when they finally gave me a quote, it was 4 times the amount I'm going to be paying elsewhere. What? Call me, DM me, and we'll make that right. We will make that right. There must be some confusion going on there because they are the best in the business. I will not stand for such blasphemy on this show. I should have read that beforehand, and I would have just DM'd you. Yeah. But you know what? We try to be transparent here. If you had a bad experience, we'll fix it. We'll definitely do that. We will definitely fix it. What I don't want to hear this year is USF playing well in the first half and getting outscored 40-10 in the second half, and we say that's progress. That talk needs to end, says James. Yeah, you're right. I've been guilty of said talk. At some point, that has to end, to get to the place where you want to go. And I don't want to act like this is USF is a perennial national championship contender, if that will ever happen.
Right.
Let's just be honest. There's about 20 programs in the nation that can claim that have won multiple national championships and are going to be in the conversation every year, or should be. And will USF ever get there as a perennial? I don't know. That's a tough ask. But let's win a conference championship. Let's get in the playoff. That's doable. And if we could do that, jeez, that'd be super fun. I'm
in. Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
Got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. All right, quick break. When we come back, Mike Bell is going to join us from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta. Find out what's going on with the Falcons after their preseason has come to a close. They've had lots of injuries, so let's see where the Falcons are at, and we'll probably talk a little FSU football with my good friend, Mike Bell. We are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. Those two combined to make your air conditioning replacement experience second to none. Get the great service of Third Generation Plumbing. John Rodriguez, good friend of the program, supports your program here. We love him, so give him some business. If you got to replace your air conditioning, do it with American Standard, the best units in the business for efficiency and durability, and the great installation at Third Generation Plumbing. Go to their website, thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Mike Bell. Stay with us. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans and huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, where we love Genesis Tampa. I was there this weekend for a live remote. They've got great deals going, guys, on lease specials under $400 for these Genesis cars, which are luxury redefined. I've driven them. They're better than Mercedes, better than BMW. They're fabulous cars for about half the price. Go check them out at Genesis of Tampa and get a great deal over there. They've also got a great service partner over there where they'll come to your house, bring you a loaner car. You don't have to leave your house or your office. They'll come right to you, drop off the car, bring your car back all freshly cleaned, and they'll give you a trade offer as well. Genesis of Tampa, it's a new dealership. They are doing things differently over there. We love them. I will be driving one soon. I can tell you that. I love the GV8 of the SUV. Woo.
Oh, man, those are nice.
Oh, sweet. All right, let's welcome in a former colleague of mine, one of the best in the business from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, host of Dukes and Bell. And I had this on good authority, Mike, that you were the man that threw that green dildo onto the green at the Tour Championship. That was you. I know it was you. Tell me I'm wrong.
Let me tell you something, man. It's funny because we get these guys that, you're not talking enough WNBA here. And I'm like, well, you know, like the old Family Guy routine. Well, that's up for the fan to decide. You know, the guy, the one fan. I mean, it's funny, man, because we got a really good team. And I try to explain to folks, look, we don't really talk, you know, a lot of Georgia State football. You know what I mean? It's all about, you know, there's a pecking order. There's Falcons, there's Georgia football, there's the Braves, you know, the Hawks, etc. But yeah, man, I got a kick out of that. I mean, by the way, that league, they got to get some sense of perspective. I mean,
man.
My God. I mean,
pay me what I'm worth. All right. I thought we were.
Here's what you were worth a year ago. You know, you were flying. They were basically flying you in steerage. Now you got charter flights. You know, and again, the whole Caitlin Clark hate thing. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I mean, it's like, I don't want to sound sexist. Too late. But anybody who's got a wife who works in a corporate setting or a girlfriend, there's nothing like the backstabbing and of sometimes some women in some workplaces.
Women are their own worst enemy. Men will do that too, especially in sports radio. I found out.
Man.
Well, JP, one last note. My dad said, you throw 5 strangers a ball, you got a basketball team. You throw 5 women a ball, you got dodgeball.
Yeah. That is true, as we've seen. But anyway, we came to talk about the Falcons and find out, man, what a season opener, bro. I cannot wait for this game. It is. I don't think there's been a game that I remember on a Bucs schedule that was so big as an opener, because just two teams that want this division. Obviously, the Falcons up and coming, beat the Bucs twice last year and still couldn't win the division. And obviously with Michael Penix, a Tampa native, there's so many storylines to this thing. But what I want to know from you is, where are the Falcons coming out of preseason right now? I know they've had injuries.
Right. That's the thing, man. We're really excited about James Pierce Jr. That was the guy that they traded back into the first round. And again, some of that pre-draft nonsense, guys, you don't know what's legit. Is it a team just trying to get a guy to fall to them? The idea that this guy doesn't love football. And then we talked to his teammates, his former teammates at SEC Media Days, and they said this guy's an alpha. And then at practice, he pops every single day. He's in the middle, starting stuff with his own teammates, starting stuff against the Titans. The guy is just a maniac. And the guy that everybody was so excited about, ironically, Jalen Walker, the more polished, the more finished, kind of like a poor man's Micah Parsons playing for Kirby Smart. Unfortunately, he's had hamstring and then a groin injury, which has kept him off the field. So we haven't been able to tell our listeners how great Jalen Walker looks, but we can tell how great James Pierce Jr. looks. That's on the defensive side. Offensive side, everything was looking great until all of a sudden now we have no depth at right tackle. Lost our starting right tackle, Caleb McGarry. He may be lost for the season. They're trying to maybe pull a trade, so they're not being forthcoming to the severity of his injury, guys. But the backup, a guy named Storm Norton, who was kind of a practice squad waiver wire guy, he was really good the last 2 years, filling in for Jake Matthews, filling in for Caleb McGarry. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with an ankle. So all of a sudden, our right side is now going to be occupied by Elijah Wilkinson, who's played tackle. He's got most of his starts in the league as a guard. He's a guy that has problems staying healthy. So we're in a bad spot on the right side.
Well, Hassan Reddick is ready to exploit that. When the big pickup. Yeah. I mean, and I tell you what, I was a little weary of him coming in, all the stuff that went on in New York. But once he got here and we talked to him and I watched him work out, this dude he's a grown ass man and a very serious man, and he's out to get his reputation back. So yeah, that's somewhere there. Obviously, they're going to have to help him out, help out the right tackle. So that'll be an interesting matchup right there. I know Michael Penix hasn't played in the preseason. So where is he in terms of his maturation in this as a starter?
Yeah, it's a great debate raging up here on the radio in Atlanta because, Andy Reid knows something about winning Super Bowls. Andy Reid's got Patrick Mahomes out there, right? And then we don't see Michael Penix Jr. at all. Past has nothing to do with this because we never saw Desmond Ridder. Maybe that was a good thing. We didn't see Penix Jr. last year in preseason much because I think they were worried about, Kirk Cousins' ego being, sideways. But I will say this, the games that we looked at, the sample size from last year, guys, the one that stands out to me, Sunday night in Washington, he does everything he can do to beat the Commanders. Coach kind of blew the 2-minute drill with clock management. He threw a pick, but he bounces back, brings the team back. And I think that's a playoff atmosphere. He throws for 300 yards in our last game of the season and 2 touchdowns against Carolina, but our defense was horrible. They moved on from the DC. So it's a small sample size. He throws absolute dimes in practice. He and Drake London have got this unbelievable chemistry. It reminds you of Matt Ryan and Julio, but even better. So that's something to look forward to. The only thing with Penix Jr. is our number 2 wide receiver, a guy named Darnell Mooney, former Bear, real speedy guy. He's banged up. We don't know if he's going to go week 1 just yet. So now we're getting into the backups opposite Drake London and the eternal mystery for Falcon fans, Kyle Pitts. Now, I will say this. The first practice that Michael Penix comes into the media room, he goes, hey, man, we got KP involved. Everybody's heard the criticism about Kyle Pitts. And if Michael Penix can form some kind of connection with Pitts, that could be something special for this offense.
Yeah, that brings me to a question. I was big on Kyle Pitts. Obviously, everybody was coming out of college. I think I had him as my top-ranked non-quarterback that year in the draft. And just from an outsider's standpoint, it looks like he's been a tremendous disappointment. Not been the generational player we thought he was going to be coming out of Florida, not making the impact on the offense in Atlanta like a lot of us thought he would. What would you attribute that to, Mike? Is it inconsistency at quarterback? Is it inconsistency all across the offense with the coaching staff? Why has that happened?
We interviewed Kyle Pitts at camp this year, my partner Carl Dukes and I, and first thing we said is, "Hey man, are your ears burning? Because we can get about 2-3 segments a day out of you because it drives people crazy." You've got the fans. The fans obviously, they want to hear a player criticized, but those guys are the minority. You're picked 4th overall. Whether it's you want to be picked 4th overall, you're the 4th overall pick. Yeah. You got to be a unicorn. You're supposed to be Kelsey or Kittle or Tony Gonzalez, and he's not even close. In his defense, he has been banged up, but availability and ability to get a knee injury, which kind of carried over to another year. He had 2 bums throwing to him. First year, Matt Ryan gets him 1,000 yards, and he's a Pro Bowler in his rookie season. Second year, Mariota, a joke. Third year, Ritter, a bum. Last year, Kirk Cousins, you guys saw the game in Tampa. He goes for 2 touchdowns. Thank God we didn't have pylon cam because one of those would have been called back.
Yes.
Remember Antoine Whitfield knocked it out of his hands. But he shows you these bursts where he can be the best athlete on the field, and then 75% of the time you wish you could have just drafted Penei Sewell. So it's a 5th year. It's a contract year. They did not give him an extension. So whether it's going to be with us or somewhere else, he's going to earn. Is he a quiet quitter? Is he aloof? Is he cool? The players have his back, but my God, he's got to produce, man. To whom much is given, much is expected.
You mentioned the defense and the new DC, Ulbrich taking over for Jimmy Lake. That's obviously got to be a huge storyline here. What has he shown you? Is it a different scheme, different players? What do you see to make this Falcons defense better?
Right. You guys remember, when Coach Raheem Morris was in Tampa back in the day. So we thought, well, hey, he's not going to be making rookie coaching mistakes. And he kind of did. One of those mistakes was Jimmy Lake, who had never coached as a DC in the NFL, and he was not good. And Raheem had to kind of take it over with mixed results. So Ulbrich comes in. He's very aggressive. I think Falcon fans, we'd rather see us blitzing and lose that way than being, cut to 1,000 pieces in some kind of, cover 2 or 3. But Ulbrich will use a 3-4 base. We've got a lot of depth now at edge. We got, as we mentioned, I talked about the rookies. Leonard Floyd, we picked up as a free agent. Guys, he's good for 8 or 9 sacks. Yeah. Then we've got Ebba Katie. He's in a contract year as a 4th-year player, as a 2nd rounder. He showed some signs. The middle, we moved up to get a guy named Rook Aroro. Fun to say, from Clemson. Some guys thought he was a reach. He is tapping into some potential. Onyemata, former Saint, is next to him. But if the interior of the line can keep some of those linemen off of our linebackers, we've got some good linebacker play. Great name, guys. We picked up Divine Diablo from the Raiders.
Yeah. And a in front of him.
Yeah, speedy linebacker, Caden Ellis, former Saint. So front 7 can really, hopefully, knock wood, get after it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be different. That's a good thing.
Right.
What's the appetite like for Falcons? And what's this energy going to be like in Mercedes-Benz Dome? I know we've seen some half-empty domes, but I'm guessing game 1, it's going to be through the roof. Is that what we should expect?
There's a real buzz about this team. Last year, the team was doing some major improvements on our facility, so the fans weren't available to be at Flowery Branch. This year, man, we were selling it out. On the weekends, they were getting 2,500 people packing it in. So fans are really stoked. It's the Michael Penix juice. I don't know if you guys saw the story a few weeks ago. We had the Titans in here for a joint scrimmage, and Penix Jr. drops a dime to Ray McLeod. Big play. Tennessee got embarrassed the first day of scrimmage, so second day, they're scrapping. He's right in the middle of the fight. Everybody's talking about it. Our defenders like, that's my quarterback. Everybody loves this guy. So he's got the juice. He's got a swagger. And I think that's what's fueling the excitement about this team, tempered by some of the injury things, Darnell Mooney and the right side of the line. But everybody's excited about thinking we finally got the guy here at quarterback.
All right, this one's going to be a good one. Now, I also have to ask you about your beloved Seminoles and my beloved Seminoles. Are you going to be in Tally this weekend? I'll be there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I've got the best seats for the worst team in football. 2 wins. I'm a sucker. I don't know about you guys, JP. I'm a sucker for the upsell. And the young lady up in Tallahassee who was trying to get me to move over to the new home side, for just like 2,000 more, we can put you on the 25. I'm like, okay, sold. So now I got great seats. We're a 13.5-point dog. We got 16 and 22 starters, our transfers. I was in Dublin for that game last year. I didn't see a lot of leadership on that plane ride home. No. I know that Norvell's got a great recruiting class supposedly for 2026, but I got bad feelings about this, brothers.
Yeah, I don't know what to think, and I'm not trying to overthink it, because anybody who thinks it can tell you they're good or they're bad has no idea. Because I'm just glad it's a whole new coaching staff, because those other guys were just dog crap, and we got new players, new coaches more than anything else. So I'm hopeful it's going to be a lot better. I think 6 is our floor. I think probably 9 is our ceiling. Anywhere in between, I'll be happy with, which is sad to say. But it's at least something heading in the right direction. It's only going to be about 95 degrees in your nice little new seats there, so don't worry.
No. I'm on the home side, JP. I'm on the home.
It's still going to be 95 degrees, bro.
No. They promised me the sun doesn't shine where I sit.
Well, you did get upsold. There's no question about that. You win the club at least? Did you get the club seats?
No, these are choice seats, man. I'm pretty stoked about this. But like I said, what's the product going to be on the field? The transfer thing and Norvell, I never thought I'd ever say as an FSU fan, I'm praying that Gus Malzahn can save my season.
Yes, and Tommy Castellanos. That's what you're banking on, bro. Whatever. I'll see you at the tailgate, because we never lose those. We never lose the tailgate, my friend.
Never. I know it says unconquered on the vanity tag here in Georgia. I'm like, I feel like putting under a Sharpie, unconquered at partying.
Yeah, at the tailgate. That's it. We win it. We're 13-0 every year. It's a beautiful thing. All right, Mike. Great stuff. Thanks for jumping on with us. Appreciate it. And we may see you in Atlanta for the opener. See you then, bud.
Cheers.
And in Tally this weekend for sure. All right. This is going to be quite the atmosphere in Atlanta. It's going to be. Wait. I know somebody said in here. It's Joel Forsland says the Benz is always empty. 1 p.m. game is too early for their fans to wake up.
Nice.
I think they're awake. They're full of hope, but it's up to the Bucs to go in there and slap them around a little bit. They owe them. Those 2 losses last year sting, and I know the Bucs are quietly confident that they'll get a little retribution.
So I didn't get a chance to ask Mike this, but what JP, in your opinion, what do you think the confidence level is of the fans and with Raheem Morris after the 8-9 season last year, after his first year back there?
I think, to Mike's point, he made a rookie mistake in putting Jimmy Lake as the DC.
Right.
And that's a friends and family mistake. Everybody loves Jimmy Lake. Everybody loves him. He's a great dude. But, and he'd been around the league. You thought maybe this could be his time, but it wasn't. And it wasn't a good product. Yeah. So that was a mistake. And now they got Ulrich, I think, is going to be a huge upgrade there. But and it sounds like they've got some different personnel and some better personnel up front. I think the Falcons are a very interesting team. They've made changes where they needed to make changes. How good will Penix be? I mean, that's that right tackle versus Hassan Reddick is the key matchup in the whole game. Right. And we'll see. Obviously, they're going to have to they're going to have to chip. They're going to have to give him some help. If they don't, and Reddick doesn't make plays, then we got problems.
Yeah.
Then we got problems. So
absolutely.
But I just can't wait for real games. I cannot wait for a real game when it comes to the Buccaneers and college football this week too. Watching Kansas State and Iowa State with a rooting interest, little money on the line, line on Iowa State. Thank you, Rocco. I owe your dad at least some wings and a beer at Riveters for that. Appreciate that, since I can't give it to you. So this is going to be fun. And I don't know, man, if you're an FSU fan, you just have no idea. They could come out, is Alabama back? 4 losses last year. Ty Simpson as a quarterback doesn't necessarily strike fear in me, but neither does, I'm sure, Tommy Castellanos, and he continues to run his mouth about Alabama. Although this last comment, I think, is kind of blown out of proportion a little bit. Look, he's confident, and I think he should be confident in his ability to run. Whether he can throw the football remains to be seen. FSU's depth chart came out, no real big surprises there. But I don't know. We may see your boy Sperry by the end of the year. I think it's Kevin Sperry. He was listed as the co-backup quarterback to Brock Glenn. Mm-hmm. He's the true freshman from is it Denton? Somewhere there in your area?
Denton Ryan.
Yeah. Who's really opened some eyes in camp. And, maybe he gets a few starts this year. And maybe that's not a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Because, Castellanos he can run, but he's limited. He's limited in the pass game, but this Malzahn offense, look, he took Nick Marshall to within a whisker of a national championship, who was a converted defensive back. So Castellanos is better than him, I think, at throwing the football. So I think, but not sure. So I don't know what to expect. And I think the defense is going to be better. Well, I know it's going to be better. So we'll see. Obtuse Angle is in here. Have not seen you before, except in geometry class. So welcome in, Obtuse Angle. Don't need to blitz Penix, need to double Drake London. That's for damn sure. Take him away. Take him away. Put Zion on him. Rick says dildos. QB in the middle. Sounds like Atlanta likes to throw their Penix around. I see what you did there. See what you did there. Is it a green Penix?
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah. Which of course we accept here.
Oh, absolutely.
JP Peterson Show.
Yeah.
Michael LaRue says Raheem Morris just isn't a good head coach. I thought he deserved a second chance, but after last year, it's clear he hasn't improved much. Who has the coaching edge? Bowles v. Raheem.
Well, I think Bowles has been there longer and probably knows his team better and has a better idea of who his team is. I think Raheem's still trying to figure out the Falcons and who they are, right?
Yeah. I hadn't heard this one. It's just shocking going back to last year. Joel Forsland says he can't be worse than DJ. You gonna lay there? DJ, you gonna lay there? Where were you last year?
Good one, Joel.
I would have used that all year long.
I mean, I can't say his name anyway, so I'll probably just use that from now on.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Did he make the roster? What was he on the Chargers?
There's no way, right?
Joel also says Bowles needs to rush the hell out of Penix, play tight man, and not letting him get easy completions. Yes, God. If I see that Bo Nix Broncos defense that we played against him last year, I'm going to lose my mind. But we won't. We're told we're not. We won't. Take Ibuka over targets game one. What's the number, Obtuse Angle? I'm just wondering. I would definitely go over. Absolutely. I'm gonna definitely do this year because my picks for Bucs last year, prop bets, I was probably 75%. And all my other picks, I sucked. Yeah. So my new approach to gambling this year is I'm only going to bet what I know. Like last year, I bet against FSU. After week 2, I said they suck and they're going to be overvalued in every game. And I made a fortune on betting against FSU. So I'm just going to stick to what I know and just give you my prop bets for Buccaneers. And my preseason prop bets last year, I won every one of them, except I put like $25 on them to win the Super Bowl, just for the hell of it. Yeah. But I bet them to win the division, bet over their win total, had a lot of good preseason bets last year. So we'll give you those as we get closer to next week. But yeah, what's the over number on Ibuka targets? It's probably 4 or 5. I don't know if you can find that. Let me know, Tim.
Looking.
All right, what else we got? Obtuse Ankle says take Hassan Reddick over sacks game 1. What's the number? I don't know. Joel, it takes 3 hours to go anywhere in Atlanta. That's for damn sure. So start early. The Benz isn't a football stadium. The Georgia Dome was. Why you say that, Joel? They're right next to each other. I mean, Mercedes-Benz is a nice stadium. But the Falcons haven't filled it because they just have sucked.
4.5 receptions is his over-under against the Falcons. I don't know what, like for the
receptions.
Season. Yeah.
I tend to go over, but I'm probably going to stay away from that one.
Well, I mean, especially if McMillan and Godwin are out, you think you go over, right?
Yeah. 4.5. Yeah, I'll go over that. Yeah. You got all the props for game 1? We'll do a quick.
It's just Ibuka is all I pulled up here.
What's his yardage total?
46.5 receiving yards.
Oh, I'd go over the yardage total before I'd go over the receptions total.
To score a touchdown is plus 210. To score 2 touchdowns plus 1,900. I might take that. At 1,900.
$10. That's worth $10.
Holy crap. Score a touchdown in the first half plus 470. Score at least 3 touchdowns plus 15,000. I mean, why not?
Why not? It can happen.
Have a reception of at least 18.5 yards. Over under. Score the last touchdown, score a touchdown in the second, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, the big ones here, 4.5 catches, 46.5 receiving yards. And, man, I'd go that 2 touchdowns for plus 1,900. Yeah, throw $10 on that. Why not?
Couple observations from Greg Allman today at practice. Says not being at Bucs practice doesn't directly mean cut, but I didn't see wide receiver Green.
Garrett, yep.
Converted Tallahassee, Lincoln. Yep. Parodi, corner. Brewer, the defensive lineman, and Gotsis at practice. They weren't there. Bucs back at practice today. Rookie Benjamin Morris still not practicing. Damn it.
Don't like that.
Nor safety Tyke Smith, running back Sean Tucker, tight end Kate Otten, or Anthony Nelson. Not a big deal. I mean, this is a kind of an off week anyway, you know. All right, that's about it. So we'll keep an eye on what happens. And we mentioned earlier Trey Palmer to be waived by the Bucs. Should he get claimed and land on another 53 Wednesday? Still has 2 years on his rookie deal. Had 39 catches and 3 touchdowns as a rookie. Was Bucs punt returner for last season. I think Tez just kind of, took his job. And Cam Johnson. We'll see what happens with Cam Johnson. So that's Ryan Miller, Cam Johnson, Evans, Abuka, Shepard, and Godwin's going to start on the 53 as well.
Right.
So that's your six right there, right? I believe so.
Yep.
I believe so. All right. Anything else we didn't get to today, my friend? Or you
wanted
to bring
so.
up?
In NFL national news, the Giants cut longtime fan favorite Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
The DeVito era is over in New York, it would appear. Unless they re-sign him to the practice squad, but I'm pretty sure that's going to Jameis.
So Jameis takes Tommy DeVito's spot.
Or Dart
favorites.
Or Dart. Yeah, or Dart. Wilson's obviously the starter, but Dart, dude, I'm telling you, Dart looked really, really good this preseason.
How long till Dart takes over?
That's you think a couple of iffy games by Wilson, and it's Dart time in New York for sure.
What else we got here? Nathan, Michael LaRue says, Nathan Elliott, talking to you, the Falcons do suck, but they swept the Bucs last year. So what does that say about your Bucs? Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Yeah. All right. So programming note. Yeah. Programming note, as I mentioned, Restus Estrada podcast will be launching here at FanStream Sports Tampa Bay on September 2nd. So what is that, next week? Next week we start on Tuesday when we get back for the Labor Day. So look for that. That's going to be I'm going to be working with him on that. So I'll be kind of co-hosting. He'll be directing it, but it's going to be his show. Yeah. And we're going to get some nice guests lined up for week 1. I don't know who yet, but he's got one hell of a Rolodex. That's for damn sure.
No question.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Scott Carter will be joining us a little bit later on in the week with our Gator report. Scott Reynolds will be joining us. Trevor Sikkema, by the way, from PFF will be joining us tomorrow. I'm going to record that interview today. So, and Joey Johnston as well, who's the sideline for USF. He will be joining us each and every week for our USF segment. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. And we got Tim May on 11:30 on Friday, correct?
That's correct.
Ohio State's legend.
Yeah.
Reporter.
Yep. And semi-retired, but now he's working harder than ever with FanStream Sports. So we can appreciate that more. Yeah.
There was a story going around that Ohio State wouldn't let Portnoy in the shoe.
I heard that. Yeah, I saw that.
But evidently he didn't. It was a Fox decision because he's not going to be on the big desk.
Right.
So they have 17 people on the desk, but there's no room for Portnoy.
So ridiculous.
So he's not coming in for the big noon inside show. So he's being kept outside. So it's not a weak ass Ohio State decision to keep out the Michigan fan Portnoy.
I'm so tired of that Fox college football broadcast.
Don't you say that about? Come on, man. It's my
I
man
used to
Rod
like
Stone.
I know, dude. I'm on board with it. It's just it gets so tiresome.
I don't know, like the Urban Meyer thing. I don't get the Urban Meyer thing.
I hate Urban Meyer.
I hate Urban Meyer. Everything else I love about that show.
Urban Meyer will join Tim May on the Tim May show next week.
on ours or
on the Tim May show up in Ohio. He'll be a guest of Tim May's next week. I might have to pull some audio from that and play it on the show here.
No, maybe. Welcome, Tim. Not welcome, Urban. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you, Tim. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. Big thanks to Mike Mel, 92.9 The Game, for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.